Hey guys, Remy here, cousin of Tom and Jack, and I'm of course a Liverpool fan. Love listening to all the updates of the Premier League, with a little twist of comedy of course from you both. Keep doing what you're doing lads, and love listening to the show. You're listening to Club Football, the EPL show.
Might be amazing a footy built like a Viking and he got off, mate. Carabao Cup.
Carabao Cup.
Carabao Cup.
If
you didn't believe me then, you believe me now.
Now I don't know because he's
probably
sponsored by Paddy Power.
He probably had money on himself going there as well, didn't he?
Hello and welcome back to Club Football, the EPL show. You're listening to episode 19.
19.
Vietnam, it was 19. And as ever, you can probably hear him by his dulcet tones. I'm joined by our kid, Jack Hughes. How's it going, Jack?
Hey, come on. Yeah, for what is our last day? Or second to last day in Perth?
To last day in Perth. By the way, I'm Tom Hughes.
Oh yeah, he's
I
Tom.
thought Jack would throw it back to me, but obviously not. No, yeah, we're in Perth.
Just thinking about the last day of my holiday, really.
How would you describe Perth right now, Jack?
Roasting, mate. Too hot. I'm sweating me plums off.
It's 10 to 9 in the morning.
My plums are stuck to my legs, mate. Proper sweaty Betty.
Such a lovely thought, isn't it?
Yeah, horrible big plums stuck to me leg.
But Perth, mate, what a cracking place.
Yeah, it's beautiful, man. It's just I'm looking forward to getting back to Sydney, though.
Oh, yeah?
Miss my own bed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My own rules.
Yeah.
There are no rules where I live.
No rules in Sydney. So guys, listen, thanks so much for joining us again. This episode will be released on Saturday once again. So thanks very much for your patience in waiting for the episode to come out. Jack, why don't you tell us about the away day playlist?
Away day playlist this week. I'm on a Scouser to the playlist. Jamie Webster, Weekend in Paradise.
Great song.
Fantastic song. Reminds me of being 17 to 23.
Yeah, you had a good period there.
Good few years there.
Yeah,
He was always out. He was never home. So yeah, that song kind of like encapsulates that time. So yeah.
Yeah,
good.
It's a cracking
He's doing
song.
very, very well, Jamie.
He's doing all right, isn't he? He's doing all right. So if you haven't heard of Jamie Webster, jump on Spotify or wherever you get your music. Have a listen to him because he's a brilliant musician. Jack, before we go into the Abyss, which is the show, our cousin Remy did the intro for the show this morning.
That's nice.
Well, look, at least I hope she has, because she's doing it today and we're recording ahead of it.
Oh, yeah. If she doesn't do it.
If she doesn't do
Could
it,
be John.
and it's going to be some fella, it's going
Mick.
to seem stupid. Yeah. And Remy, by the way, is a girl.
Darnell. Could be anyone.
Because Remy can be male and female name, can't it? So on today's show, we've got Game of the Week.
Game of the Week.
We've got World Roundup by our very own Courtney.
You're all caught up.
Quickfire Forum, where we hear your voice notes and messages. Then we've got the return of the. I mean, look, I think it's my favourite game, trivia game that we do, and that's just because I came up with the idea and Jack came up with left foot, right foot. We've got the return of Irish Steve's favourite. Name that club.
Name that club, baby.
Carbs.
By the way, can we all talk about how long Steve's voice note was last week?
We'll get to it in
Is
a
everyone
second.
okay to talk about
We'll
it?
get to a second, and then we will look ahead to the return of the EPL fixtures.
Nice.
Yeah, Irish Steve's voice now, 5 minutes long.
It's like an audio book.
But you know what? Really loved it.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Like, we can talk about Arsenal all day long, but we're an outside perspective, aren't we?
Yeah.
So it was great to get that. Look, I think we just love getting the voice notes.
I like the voice notes. The messages are nice, though.
Yeah, it's all nice.
You can say it in whatever voice you want.
Any interaction is good, isn't it? How good does it get me dad on?
Oh, he's buzzing about that.
He's made up.
Yeah. You think he was like Bradley Walsh, the host of The Chase, the way he's bouncing around now.
He loves it. I work with Bradley.
Name with them all, mate. Work with them all. Name drop. Clanger.
Clang. And as well, this week on social media, you will see that we're going to put up a post and we're going to invite you to vote on which player you would like to enter into the Maverick series.
Yeah.
There's a whole host of them out there.
Yeah.
You've got Nick Anelka, you've got Zlatan. Who else have you got? There's a whole bunch of them, isn't there?
Loads of them, mate.
So we'll give you guys the option.
Robbie Savage, I'd like to do.
Robbie Savage, yeah.
Vinnie Jones.
Vinnie Jones.
Yeah, there's a few, so you just
There's
decide.
a few.
Yeah.
There's a few. We'll give you a couple of options each week, and you guys let us know. Jack, let's go straight into Game of the Week.
Game of the week. That pause there, I could see the anticipation in his eyes. Please do it, Jack. Please.
Some great games this week. Some games more enjoyable than others.
If you can guess from our tone which game we're talking about.
Yeah.
Tom and I discussed not doing the podcast this week.
Yeah.
We
I
said,
think,
yeah.
I think we said the same when we got beat by Forest. Alex Henry, how you doing, mate? Yeah, but we will discuss it. But let's start for number 3, a game of the week. And to be honest, I think we wanted to talk about this game. It was a good game of football, but I think we wanted to talk about both of these clubs a little bit. We haven't sort of touched on them, have we, in a little bit of a while. It was Chelsea 0, Manchester City 1, Jack.
Yeah, look, this is a game
That was this morning.
Yeah, it's usually very, very, very enjoyable. There's always something going on in this game. I love how they both wear blue. That's always nice, isn't it? Wearing your own kit when you can. So they're just wearing the away kit for the save it. Chelsea were unlucky. Had a chance pretty early on. Young lad off the bat. Look, I spoke to a Chelsea supporter yesterday while I was having a couple of afternoonies.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, you know, he's happy they've got a British manager and he's going to give the kids a chance and all that.
Yeah.
So, you know, I give Brian Potter a lot of stick. Graham Potter, his brother. But, yeah, the Chelsea fans seem pretty happy with him. I mean, the result, playing against Man City is the hardest game ever, isn't it? You know what I mean? But City looked class. De Bruyne, I don't know how teams are letting him come take that corner short and whip it in.
I don't get it.
To the back post when straight to Nathan Ake as well, which is how they got Liverpool in the Carabao Cup.
Carabao Cup.
Carabao Cup.
He's a Carabao
If you didn't believe me then, you believe me now.
He's a Carabao Cup.
Yeah, I don't know how that can still go on, but yeah, look at the subs, Tom. Look at the subs they have to choose from.
So, you know, it's 0-0. I think Chelsea at that point to give it a fair crack. I mean, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I haven't got it in front of me.
Chubaka. He's
largely tipped, isn't he, to be one of the next big things. Like, he hit the post, as Jack mentioned. Thiago Silva missed.
Oh, yeah. Tough chance.
It was a tough chance. He was under pressure, wasn't he? From like 7 yards out. Man City make the change. They bring on Jack Grealish, £100 million. Riyad Mahrez, £60 million. Obviously, both very, very good footballers. Let's be honest. And I know Jack Grealish gets a lot of stick because he looks like Keira Knightley. But what a talented footballer! He came on. Jack Grealish puts it across for Mahrez.
Back post. Proper City goal.
Proper City goal.
Proper Pep goal.
Yeah. Good game of football to wake up to this morning.
Yeah, excellent.
Man City needed the win, didn't they? If they're gonna keep up on Arsenal. I've seen Pep saying that they're gonna have to play very, very good football if they're gonna keep up with Arsenal. Do you think? We've spoken about it sort of week in, week out. Do we still think City favourites for the title?
I'd like to see Arsenal win it, just not to be City, but that creates an issue for us as Liverpool fans, is because then Arsenal can go and sign whoever they want.
Yeah.
So, City.
See,
I'd rather City win the league.
You know what? Like, it's a tough one because I remember when Man United were winning it year in, year out, and I remember Chelsea got bought out and I was made up. I regret that.
Yeah. I was the same with City. City got bought out. I was like, here we go.
And that's why I'm watching Newcastle so closely. We'll talk a bit about Newcastle a bit later on because Tom Stocco sent us in a voice note. But yeah, look, Arsenal, I think it'd be nice to see a team like Arsenal win the league. And I think we're already starting to get to the point now where we're getting some haters for Arsenal. And that just shows that everyone's sort of a little bit afraid of them because, look, big stadium. You know, if they can get the Champions League money in year out, win that Premier League title, they've already got some good players. Things change very quickly.
But yeah, I think for Chelsea and City, it just, because under Tuchel, Chelsea looked like a team that could go on and win the title. Obviously, they won the Champions League and all that, and then obviously they've had an ownership change and a manager change. Chelsea looked good, but they look well off being in that running. Way off.
Yeah, I think the thing is with Chelsea, they're sort of in a position at the moment where, I mean, where are they now? Where are they in the league? Jack, Chelsea are 10th. They're 10th. They're on 25 points, right? They've played 17 games. Manchester United are 4th on 35 points. Same amount of games played, 10 points. It's a lot of points. It's a lot of points. It's not impossible, but I think Potter is going to have to produce a little bit of magic.
Hey, come on, no. Come on, no.
It's so obvious. I think everyone's made the same gag, but you know what? Now I've made it. Jack, game number 2 this week. Unfortunately, Brentford 3, Liverpool 1.
I love Brentford, but I hated them in this game.
They were at Liverpool, weren't they?
Tom,
they
were unreal. Absolutely unreal. Is it Wiser? Wisser.
Yeah. I think it's a V, isn't it? Visser.
Yeah.
Well, it's a W, but it's...
Well, he could have had 5.
Yeah.
He had 2 disallowed, didn't he?
Yeah.
And you know what? They were unlucky to have them disallowed. Really unlucky. They had the one where all the players were offside when he's hit it. The one where he came from behind, Ali. But it's just... They looked incredible. And you cannot take anything away from Brentford. They go for the jugular and they hit it.
I think Brentford were good. I think that Liverpool were poor. I think that they couldn't get Mo Salah in the game, which is becoming a little bit of a common theme. They can't get Mo Salah in the game. Jim Beglin, who does the commentary.
Jim Beglin,
Mo
Salah looks really sharp.
Yeah, Mo Salah, Like, he had a little bit of a pop at Mo Salah there, sort of 60 minutes in, and sort of had a go. He's not getting in the game. Well, he's playing right wing.
Yeah.
He's playing right wing, and if he doesn't get the ball, he's not going to have much effect.
No.
But Liverpool were poor. I think that, I've sort of said the last couple of weeks, it's not over. Liverpool are still in that title race because they can go on a 15-game winning run. It's possible. I think now I just can't see it.
No.
And I think I can't see it because I can't see us going on the run.
Yeah. I think that midfield's big issue. Obviously, the news now, Van Dijk is going to be out for a few games to assessing on whether he can get back for the Madrid games in the Champions League.
Yeah.
But we just don't look that team we were at all. You know what? The hatred Wijnaldum used to get from the fans.
Not from Liverpool fans, Jack.
No, but
I was very surprised. Very surprised when he left the club.
No, but he did. He did get a lot of stick, Wijnaldum, and that running and protecting the defence and pressing and all of that. Also, like that team won the title and everything. Firmino was there pressing. He was involved in everything. We were going for the ball up the pitch, and we just don't look like we've got the legs or anything to still be able to do that. When Henderson doesn't play, it hurts us.
Yeah, I think what look, I mean, we love talking about football and whatever, and we're not experts, but Liverpool in the transition at the moment are at sea. Yeah. And I think when Liverpool were at the best in transition was Liverpool's strongest point. People talk about the gegenpress and whatever, but when Liverpool lost the ball was almost, a moment of strength for Liverpool. They get back, they'd be really strong. Fabinho would be really strong. The midfield three would be energetic, and we'd be in a position to defend and then go back. We're not in that position at the moment. But Brentford, spot on.
Yeah, they deserved it. Absolutely deserved it.
Excellent. Right, let's go to game 1 of Game of the Week. Leeds United 2, West Ham United 2.
What a game.
Great game of football, man.
Great goals.
Great goals.
Great intensity.
Great goals.
Great drama at the end.
Great goals, yeah.
Leeds are the game of the week. Or they've been in game of the week the most times, I think. I'm not too sure.
I think so. I think they've had a couple of 4-3s, haven't they? And
big draws and everything. Yeah, but what an absolute cracker of a game.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, games like that. Two teams fighting it out.
Yeah, there was a battle.
Down there, unsure on what's going to happen. An absolute battle.
It was a battle with tons of quality, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, look, Jack said it, like there was some great goals in the game. West Ham scored a penalty and Paqueta did that sort of little, shimmy penalty thing where he takes like 30 steps before he hits the ball. Remember Zaza did that in the Euros, was it? For Italy, and he ballooned it over the bar. Paqueta, no such problem. But great goals. Scamacca, who came in the summer for West Ham for quite big money,
30 odd million.
Yeah, 35 million, I think was it. And I put him straight in the fantasy team.
Yeah, of course you did.
Yeah.
As a West Ham. As a West Ham boy.
Because of West Ham, obviously. I love West Ham. But, all right, okay. I don't love West Ham, all right. I'm very fond of them. But look, great goals all round. Your mate Rodrigo pops up as well.
Rodrigo.
Brilliant goal.
Who's going to sign him?
I don't know, mate. I don't know. There's a question a little bit later on in the Quickfire Forum where he might pop up in the conversation a little bit.
Nice.
But, look, just a great game of football. And in the last minute of the game, Fabianski makes an excellent save.
Unreal.
One-handed stop. Fabianski as a shot stopper is
awesome.
Is up there with all the goalkeepers in the Premier League.
Put him in his near post.
Yeah.
Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
He's not so good at his near post. But great shot stopper and a great game of football, I thought. And I think, right at the end of the game there, the Ellen Road faithful, I think, all stood up and give a massive round of applause. I think just generally for the football.
It was a war, an absolute war. Great for the neutral. Awful if you're a Leeds or a West Ham supporter. But I like that both teams were going at it till the 95th minute. Chances going into the box, trying. You know what I mean? Neither of them happy with the draw, going for that win. So yeah, quality game. Great deserved game of the week.
Yeah, absolutely. And a couple of other notable mentions before we move on to the Drop Your Hot Dog Awards, Jack.
The biggest award in football.
Arsenal, Newcastle. That really close game of football that ended in a draw and a great result for Newcastle. Obviously a disappointing result for the Arsenal.
Disappointing result for Arsenal.
Everton, Jack.
Up and down.
Obviously they got a great result there, didn't they, against Man City? And you're sort of hoping as an Everton fan that that's sort of the catalyst.
Yeah.
For a bit of a change. They got the draw 1-1 at the Etihad.
And really got to Haaland.
Yeah.
Really got to Haaland.
Yeah. He doesn't like not winning. Fair enough.
If anyone who watched the game, Haaland made a horror tackle. Absolutely, I'm going to get me swear word all the way shit out of a tackle. And then he gets up like the big I am. And then there's
Tchaikovsky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Russian composer. He ran up after him and Haaland just got off.
Yeah, he bottled it.
Yeah, big shit house, mate. Might be amazing a footy. He's built like a Viking and he got off, mate. He was out at sea.
He was.
Out of there.
But he's a big lad, Tchaikovsky.
Yeah.
I don't think it's Tchaikovsky,
No,
is it?
it's not.
It's Tarkovsky.
It is, that's what I said.
Tchaikovsky wrote Swan Lake.
Yeah, nice.
Nice, yeah.
Culture and football.
Yeah.
But yeah, on Everton, as we move to the Drop Your Hot Dog Award.
Yeah.
Damari Gray against City.
Brilliant.
Filth. I seen it's a camera from the back of Pickford's goal.
Yeah, seen that.
As it goes in, you see Pickford's celebrations, little tiny arms go up in the air. But yeah, Everton, it's just, it's tough, especially when you get a result like that against City. Damari Gray, after getting a goal like that, and then to just be absolutely dominated by Brighton.
Yeah.
No good.
Brighton were great. And I have to say, on that goal of the week award there for Damari Gray.
Drop your hot dog.
Yes, sorry, Drop Your Hot Dog Award. Look, he scores the goal, and I you'll have to forgive me, but I can't remember it, but someone busts a lung and overlaps. And I think it's Kyle Walker goes with him a little bit, just gives him an inch. And it just gives Gray enough space to score, but without that sort of commitment to get up into the box. I think it was the fullback. Everton don't get the goal. Jack, that was Game of the Week and Drop Your Hot Dog.
Game of the week.
Pretty good.
Drop your hot dog.
Oh, get that hot dog in your mouth. Jack, Courtney, still on the road.
I'm on the road again.
She's having a great time.
She's everywhere, isn't she?
Yeah. She's got a very tasteful Instagram as well.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen
Looks,
it.
you know what I mean? Everything looks really good.
Yeah.
If me and Courtney had the same day and put it on Instagram, her day would look 10 times better than mine.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. But before we go, before we do go on to the World Roundup with Courtney, if you haven't seen Courtney's Illustrated by Courtney page, or I think it's just Illustrated by Court, Courtney does these brilliant illustrations. We got one done for me mum and dad for our Christmas present. Courtney did it. So she's got a little setup there. And I have to say, very reasonable prices.
Yeah, reasonable and talented.
Yeah, have a look. But Courtney, let's hear the World Roundup, mate.
Hey guys, welcome back to the World Roundup. Now, the Women's Super League will be back on the 14th of January, starting off with a game between Aston Villa and Tottenham Hotspurs. It will be an interesting start back to the season as the two teams sitting at the top of the table, Chelsea and Arsenal, play each other the following day. So stay tuned and support Chelsea. Over in France, the Ligue 1 saw top of the table's PSG lose their first game of the season against Lens, who are currently just below them. The results of this game were 3-1. However, the one PSG goal is being questioned by fans, as many are arguing it should have been disallowed. Looking down the table to Marseille, who are sitting in third place, we saw a fight nearly break out in their game against Montpellier, with a red card being handed out to Tavares. Despite the red, they ended up winning 2-1. Now Italy is back in action again this week as Serie A has kicked off with Milan beating Salernitana 2-1. Despite losing 1-0 to Inter, Napoli are currently sitting at the top of the table, followed by Milan and Juventus. And before I go, I wanted to mention that the Bundesliga will return to us on the 21st of January with RB Leipzig and Bayern Munich kicking it off. That's all this week. My name's Courtney. Now you're all caught up.
Welcome back, people. Welcome back to the Quickfire Forum. Where we give it to the fans to ask us questions, and they can either send in a nice voice note or send us a lovely message, and we try and answer them as best we can with our little to no knowledge about the subject matter. The first one comes from long-time listener, long-time friend, Dom Storko, like...
Tom, how's it going? You're right. I was doing a Geordie accent.
You were doing a Geordie,
yeah.
Here's Tom.
Hello everybody, I just want to come on to talk about the January transfer window in relation to Newcastle United. I think financial fair play rules means that they're not going to really be able to spend much money. The only sort of early talk is about Dubravka having been called back from Manchester United, maybe in relation to a swap deal for someone like James Maddison. So we're probably looking to spend around 50 or 60 million tops. I think Eddie Howe's other problem is getting rid of players that are currently in the squad, like John Joe Shelvey and Matt Ritchie, who should have probably have gone 6 months ago. But I think if Newcastle can finish top 6 this season and maybe get to the final of one of the cup competitions, most of the fans will see that as really good progress and building blocks to build onto for next season.
Right, Tom. Thanks so much for your voice note, mate. It's always great to hear your...
lovely voice, hasn't he?
Yeah. It's like our Be the Same pet, innit? All right, let's...
I just want to dance, man.
I just want to dance with somebody. Electricity. All right, let's do transfer business first for Newcastle. I think I have to say I think they've done some brilliant business.
Yeah.
So far,
one thing I do like is a lot of the already existing players are the ones who are stepping up.
Longstaff. Yeah. Not
necessarily the lads who they've bought. Tom, you mentioned there about financial fair play. Wouldn't worry about it, mate. You've got enough money to pay off the fine, like City and PSG do. So I wouldn't worry about that. put morality to the side. Don't care about it. If you're going to start winning championships and winning everything, it's fine, mate. Go with it. That's who you are. You've got the money. Spend it. So yeah, I wouldn't worry about it too much, Tom. I think it's a very, very exciting time. Look, John Joe Shelby's been a good servant to that club.
He has, yeah.
I know he's a hothead and he loses rag sometimes, but he's done some great things at Newcastle. But you're probably right about him moving on. It's probably time. He's probably not the right player to be in a team that wants to go and achieve big things. But I think he has done well. Same with Matt Ritchie. But top 6, you were saying, and getting to a final of a cup. Would you take that? Is that good enough? That's what I want to hear back from you, because I think Newcastle could genuinely have a good old run at that top 4 in Champions League next season. But I suppose if you're Newcastle and you haven't had any glory in a cup, you would probably be inclined to think top 6 and a trophy win, or at least a trip to Wembley. But it's exciting times, like for Newcastle fans. For you, Tom, you've probably been waiting your entire life to see Newcastle be that team again. So I think you've just got to be excited, and whatever the ride brings, you've just got to go on that journey. Newcastle are going to be, with the money like this, they're going to be around for 10, 15 years, unless something catastrophic happens. But Newcastle are going to be there, so take the small wins. Don't worry too much about achieving too much. It's going to happen. It's absolutely going to happen.
So what about the transfer market then? I mean, they've got some obviously some really, a lot of quality players, and I think they have got creativity from the midfield. I think when I look at Newcastle, I still think that they do need that sort of wizard player. Tom mentioned James Maddison from Leicester. I like James Maddison. I don't know whether James Maddison will provide consistency.
Yeah, I don't think he's top tier.
I don't, because I think if he was genuinely top tier, I think he'd already be playing at one of the clubs.
Yeah,
but I do think it's an area where Newcastle would definitely benefit from. This is an easy statement to make, but if you took Martin Odegaard out of Arsenal, put him in Newcastle are a different football team.
Taken out there.
Things are different, and I know they're doing really well at the minute. So I do think that sort of player would be interesting. I think on the Dubravka shout, Tom, I think you might be right there. Dubravka was obviously a very good goalkeeper for Newcastle for a long time, really. Nick Pope's came in, and I don't think anyone can knock Nick Pope.
No.
Truth be told, he'd probably be my England number 1. Anyway. So yeah, maybe Dubravka's come back from that Man United loan to maybe make way for Maddison, because I think Danny Ward's done okay at Leicester. I don't think he's a Premier League.
Don't think he's the man.
No, I don't. No, I don't. Not for Leicester. I think Leicester need to start reimagining where they are as a club a little bit, and start looking upwards a little bit. But no, I think it will be interesting in terms of where they are at the minute. I think I get what you mean, Tom. If they could finish in that sort of, the top 6 and get to a cup final, it would be big. When the money first came in for Manchester City, it was a slow process. Like it's looking like it's going to be at Newcastle. They've not done what Abramovich did, for example. And I think over time, I think Vincent Kompany was the first signing, wasn't he?
I can't remember.
But he was one of them, I'm sure he was. But he wasn't like a big player, you know what I mean? He was just the right player.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Newcastle will continue to do.
He was a centre midfielder, wasn't he, Kompany, when they got him?
He might have been, yeah. Holding midfielder, yeah. And I think that's what Newcastle will do. I think that they will bring the right players in for the future of the club, basically.
Especially the academy system and everything. They've got money to ensure that you have got the best youth players coming through.
Well, that's what City have done, isn't it?
Yeah.
You look at like Palmer and Lewis coming through there at City. you get the benefits for it. Obviously, Liverpool are doing it at the minute, spending a lot of money on the youth system, and I think it's a criticism at the minute from Manchester United fans that there used to be a whole host of players coming through their system, and at the minute, not as many as what they'd like. Tom, thanks very much for sending your voice note in, mate. It was good talking about your club, and let's stay in touch for the rest of the season, see how yous go. Right, we got a message in from Sean. What striker would you go for Man United?
Oh,
because they definitely need one, don't they?
good question.
I would have said Ivan Toney, but now I don't know because he's
probably
sponsored by Paddy Power.
He probably had money on himself going there as well, didn't he? There's two that stick out. For me, Mitrovic is one of them. Getting him away from Fulham is going to be a very, very hard task. Mm-hmm. But Man United, they've still got the name power to pry him away from there. He's a big, aggressive centre forward who can do the lot, and with service, he can continue scoring goals. I'm very, very confident in that. And the other one is my mate Rodrigo. And go and just play him as an out-and-out number 9, because I think he's got everything as well. But they do need a striker. They do need a striker.
They definitely do need a striker. Are you all right there?
No, it was a bit of a cough.
That kid's dying. I think, for me, Ten Hag came into Manchester United and he's got a very distinct way of playing football. It's obviously the Ajax total football style, the 4-3-3, the sort of come down from Johan Cruyff. When he was at Ajax, there was an example there of using a big number 9, because I'm pretty sure he had Haller.
Yeah.
Who's obviously a big lad. Oh, and by the way, Haller.
Yeah, good on him, mate.
Good on him. He had a testicular tumour removed, and he's now back in training for Borussia Dortmund. So,
good on you, lad.
Yeah, good on you, mate. And I hope it all goes well for you. But he did have Haller. But generally speaking, in that system, teams don't tend to have a big number 9, do they? I think Ten Hag will want a player who can come in, can sort of do a bit of everything, drop between the lines, connect a little bit with that midfield, and sort of create moments there with Fernandes and whoever's on that left or right flank at the time. So I don't know. I think what they'll end up going for is a player who is more like a Bobby Firmino type.
I was just about to say that, yeah, a creative player more than an out-and-out goal scorer. Yeah. Because like Rashford's banging the goals at the minute. Like United have been on a fantastic run recently as well.
They're doing really well.
So, but there is room for improvement there. If they can get that player who makes them tick, like a Bobby type, then they'll be flying.
Yeah, I think in that front line, I think if you were a player who could come in and provide assists, there are players there who can score goals. Interesting time, I think, for Manchester United. I think this transfer window will tell us a lot about Ten Hag as well, because he obviously came in and he solidified that defence and midfield, didn't he, with Lissandro and then Casemiro. Interesting times. Jack Robb has asked, has Virgil van Dijk passed his best?
No way. He's just not got any protection anymore.
I worry for him.
No, he's not past his best. I don't think he's past his best anyway, in any way, shape or form. But he always had two midfielders. Carragher came out and said this week. You can be as good as a defender as you want. If you haven't got protection and you're under the pump and under fire all game, someone's gonna go past you. We had a lot of protection over the years, and now that looks like it's dwindling because the players just haven't got the legs in front of them to be back there doing all that. But I don't think he's past his best. I worry that after the injury, he doesn't look exactly the same player, but it's a big injury to come back from, and there is moments where he does look like that player still, but I don't think he's past his best.
I think that one of the things that you always had with Virgil van Dijk was an immense amount of pace. All right. Now, at some point for him, that pace will go.
Yeah.
And I think a great amount of pace for a defender gets you out of a lot of situations. But I think, come what may, you have to develop. And you look at players, using Liverpool as an example. Look at Sami Hyypiä. Never had pace. Never got beaten. Never got himself in a position
to be beaten
down a flank.
Yeah.
And I think, I look at Virgil van Dijk at the moment, and he doesn't. Maybe it's just because Liverpool are going through a hard time, and maybe it's my feelings on it, but Virgil van Dijk doesn't look invincible. He doesn't look invincible. I think it's just the best way of saying it, because I think he did look invincible for a long time. And there's little things I can see in his game, and there's probably someone who can argue the stat on this with me, but Virgil van Dijk often would get the ball in that left centre-back position, and bang, that ball was gone.
Yeah.
That ball was gone. And I think it might be Virgil van Dijk, it might be the way Liverpool are playing at the minute, but that ball isn't happening. And often what's happening at the moment with Virgil van Dijk is he's getting the ball and it's going to the right centre-back, and it's going out to Trent and it's coming back in. And maybe that's because maybe that midfield option's there, or maybe that Sadio Mane option's not there anymore. I don't know.
The thing is, though, that ball out to Van Dijk and him hitting a 60-yard pass to Salah's chest. Been watching that for like 4 or 5 years, man. Every team knows what we want to try and do. They know what we want to try and do because we've done it consistently. Every single time. And we don't win the ball as high up anymore. We don't have that same energy. What I was saying before about the press, we do not press the same as we did. We used to put teams under pressure big time. We're still playing a high line. We're still attempting to play, but we don't have that intensity. It's quite funny. Pep Linders wrote a book called Intensity, and since he's done it, I don't think we've got any intensity. But we just don't look that, and then it's easy to pick out players and say, well, you're not doing your job. When really, I think as a system, it's just, there's cracks in it at the minute. So, yeah, I think Virgil's going to be sweet. Thiago Silva's 39, isn't he? 38, 39.
Yeah.
And he still looks brilliant.
Yeah.
The pace might go, but with Van Dijk, it's not necessarily even a pace thing. He's got longer legs than you. He's going to outstride you. That takes years to go away, man.
What I would say as well, he's obviously got this injury, which is a great shame. A hamstring, it looks like. Konate came back into the centre-back pairing. Look, I'm not saying Liverpool were excellent at the back. Against Brentford, they weren't. But I think long-term, no doubt, that is Van Dijk's partner, isn't it?
Yeah,
at the back.
Yeah.
So I think if they can get Konate and Van Dijk on the pitch at the same time, it would be great. And look, this is where Liverpool are at the minute. Alisson Becker has made the same amount of saves so far this season as he did in the entire title-winning season.
Wow.
Which I think is 53 saves. Our goalkeeper's producing. We just need the rest of them to start turning up. Guys, thanks so much for the questions in the Quickfire Forum. Some cracking questions there, I think. And that last question came from Rob. I can't remember if I mentioned it, but cheers, Rob. Right, Jack, let's have a quick break, mate. It is still morning here in Perth, so we'll just have the one beer. And when we come back, it's trivia time, so make sure you get your pens and papers. It's Name That Club. Welcome back to Name That Club. We haven't played this in a while, Jack.
I know, it's because left foot, right foot is the superior game. Is it not? Is it not?
And we tried Gobstoppers, didn't we?
I liked Gobstoppers.
You liked it?
Yeah.
I think people found it hard because it was so goalkeeper specific. But it was 50-50.
It was 50-50. It makes it a bit easier.
Right, okay. If you haven't played this before, I ask 5 questions. Or whoever does the quiz does 5 questions.
5.
It's always 5 questions. You write down your answer, and at the end, we give the answers out and we see how many you get. So normally Jack sort of hits 2 to 3 out of 5. That's not bad, is
Consistent.
it? Yeah, he's a C+ student. Let's see if you can beat him. You ready, Jack? Have you got your pen and paper?
Let's go, mate. Let's go.
All right. Name that club. All the answers refer to a current or a previous Premier League club. You ready?
Let's go.
Number 1. I was managed by Kenny Dalglish when we won the Premier League title at Anfield in 1995. What club am I?
Okay.
I was managed by Kenny Dalglish when we won the Premier League title at Anfield in 1995. What club am I? Or, name that club.
Name that club.
Number 2 then. Nicolas Anelka scored 125 goals in 364 appearances in the Premier League. Which club did he score more goals for? Was it Man City or Chelsea? This one's a 50-50. Just for you people at home, he played for Arsenal, Liverpool, City, Chelsea,
Bolton Wanderers.
Bolton Wanderers in the Premier League, and West Bromwich Albion.
Oh, he did, didn't he?
What a player.
A Maverick.
A Maverick, if there ever was one. Number 3. Australian goalkeeper Mark Schwarzer played 366 games for which former Premier League club?
Oh.
So he's played for three English clubs who played in the Premier League in his career. Played in 2 World Cups for Australia. A very, very good goalkeeper.
Oh, it's tough, man. That's tough.
It's a harder one. I thought I'd do a slightly harder one because the last one was a 50-50.
I'm just having a guess.
Have a guess. Write it down. See if you get it right. Number 4. Which Premier League team are the only side to let a 4-goal lead slip? Name that club. Which Premier League team are the only side to let a 4-goal lead slip? I watched this game live.
He's there.
No, I wasn't there, but I watched it live.
Is he still in the Premier League?
Both clubs who were involved in the game are still in the Premier League. Loads of elevator music in that section. And number 5. Barcelona women signed Kira Walsh for a world record fee of £400,000 from which WSL club? Women's Super League club.
Say that again, mate, sorry.
Barcelona women signed Kira Walsh for a world record fee of £400,000 from which Women's Super League club? Courtney will be scratching her head now. Oh, I know that one should be saying.
Can I have a question 4 again, please?
Question number 4, yeah. Which Premier League team are the only side to let a 4-goal lead slip?
I don't know, man.
And not only that, the equaliser was a cracking goal. A cracking goal. The stadium just went into pandemonium. It was amazing. I think Martin Tyler was on the commentary. Right, are you ready for the answers?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, let's go. Question number 1. I was managed by Kenny Dalglish when we won the Premier League title at Anfield in 1995. What club am I, Jack?
Blackburn Rovers.
Correct. I think if I'm right, they were playing Liverpool on the last game of the season. Blackburn needed to win the league, to beat Man United to the league title. Blackburn were winning 1-0, and Jamie Redknapp scored a free kick for Liverpool. But Blackburn still went on to win the league anyway. Number 2, Nicolas Anelka scored 125 goals in 364 appearances in the Premier League. Which club did he score more goals for? Was it Man City or Chelsea, Jack?
I went Chelsea.
The correct answer is Chelsea.
Yes, come on, baby.
He scored 38 goals for Chelsea he scored 37 for Manchester City. And of course, he did win the Premier League Golden Boot for Chelsea in 2009. Scored in 18 goals. It's nothing, is it, when you think about it? Such a low amount. Number 3, Australian goalkeeper Mark Schwarzer played 366 games for which former Premier League club?
Bolton.
It was Middlesbrough.
Middlesbrough.
Yeah, he was a real stronghold in that team, wasn't he? And he played, I think he played almost 200 games for Fulham. And he also played for Chelsea. He won the Europa League with Chelsea, although he was backup. Number 4, which Premier League team are the only side to let a 4-goal lead slip?
Arsenal.
It was Arsenal. Arsenal led 4-0 at St James's Park, and Newcastle pulled it back with Cheick Tiote scoring an absolute screamer. Irish Steve would have known that one, and so would Stoko and Paul, no doubt. And number 5, Barcelona women signed Kira Walsh for a world record fee of £400,000 from which Women's Super League club?
I went Man City.
It was Manchester City.
Was it?
It was.
Oh, baby.
Well done, Jack.
4 out of 5.
Hey!
4 stars out of 5. I'm proud of myself.
It was good. Well done. To anyone at home playing, name that club. Let us know how many you got. I'm always interested to know how many Mark got. He loves a quiz.
Got 6 out of 5 the other week.
Yeah, he got 17 out of 5. Oh no, that was Pele.
Pele.
Right, let's have a break for socials, Jack. We might put a thing in there that says, give us a follow. Maybe it'll say subscribe to our YouTube. Maybe it'll say give us a follow on Spotify, a rate.
Do as you're told.
I don't know what we'll say.
Do as you're told.
In the section. Maybe it'll say, go on Instagram, interact with our posts. I don't know what it'll say.
Do as you're told.
Maybe it'll say none of that. We'll see you soon. Okay, we're back. Thanks for listening to those socials, if there was any. Jack, the Premier League fixtures, mate, coming up this week. What's standing out for you?
Everything, mate. Some bloody derbies everywhere.
Derbies everywhere, isn't it?
Derbies, mate.
We've got the West London derby, Fulham-Chelsea, which is a derby, isn't it?
It is a derby.
It's a derby in
neighbours.
In the strictest sense, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's it, really.
Yeah. Fulham 1-0, mate.
Fulham, Mitrovic.
Mitro.
It's possible. And then we've got some big boy derbies, I think. Manchester United host Manchester City. Big game.
United are on a roll.
United will fancy it.
I would. I'd give it that. If we were still doing the bet thing, I'd back United. And that's why we never win any money.
Yeah. I think it'd be a really interesting one. I think United will have their tails up in a derby for the first time in a bit of a while, really. But look, I think Manchester City won 2-0 there last year.
Yeah.
But dominated.
Yeah.
Really dominated. Bernardo Silva got a goal there. I think that'll be an interesting one. Jack, can Tottenham slow down Arsenal in the North London derby?
No. See Conte's comments as well this week.
What's he say?
Conte basically said, we're not in a position to be fancying we're going for anything. When I came into this club, it was a mess, and I'm trying to fix things. We need to realise where we are and who we are before we can go and achieve anything. Which is pretty negative, but...
It's not what you want to hear from your manager, is it?
Not a manager who's won everything either, but that's where they are.
It sounds like he's asked for a bit of money, hasn't he?
Yeah. Eugene Levy said no.
Hey, Jim. Yeah, look, I don't know. Tottenham went to the Emirates, didn't they, earlier in the season? Didn't put a glove on Arsenal. They were really poor. They scored a penalty, but they just didn't do anything in the game. Really, Arsenal were fantastic on the day. So I'm not too sure. Brighton host Liverpool. Oh. I think for the neutrals, make sure you watch that game of football.
Yeah.
I think that'll be a really good game of football.
Liverpool have got to be on it.
Liverpool have got to be on it.
Got to be.
Another good one for the neutrals, Jack. Your mates, the Villains.
On the Villains.
They host Leeds United in a game which is guaranteed to be in Game of the Week next week.
Yeah. Death taxes and Newcastle being in game. Leeds being in Game of the Week.
And then another potentially brilliant game for the neutral. Two teams who I've got big soft spots for. Obviously, Wolverhampton Wanderers host West Ham United. Both teams need the points. Wolves really, really need the points. Jack, Everton will be optimistic, I'm sure, going into the weekend. They've got Southampton. Southampton, mate, they look in trouble.
Yeah.
They look in trouble big time.
Big Frank, mate. He needs that game, doesn't he?
He needs that game.
He'd be looking at that going, thank God for that.
We spoke about it last week again, but, part of Everton's problem is who did he get? Genuinely, like, who did he get in? They probably should have got Cristiano Ronaldo as player manager. Why not?
I think the money he's on.
Oh, the money he's on.
Filth. Wish I was on a bit of that money.
Yeah. So if you haven't invested all your money yet in Saudi Arabia, why not? Because I'm pretty sure that they'll be hosting the World Cup soon. Yeah.
See the link with Kante and Firmino?
Are they really?
Al-Nazir. Yeah.
If they can get Kante and Firmino in the same team, mate, that team will run 20,000 kilometres a game. That's ridiculous.
Way close of a team, that.
On Bobby Firmino, I think Bobby will go. They've offered him a new deal, I think, but I think he'll go, especially with Gakpo coming in. I can't see it. And then Jack, there's also Manchester City Tottenham.
Oh, in the
catch-up game, which is match day 7, unbelievably. I know, it's mad, isn't it? Man City Tottenham, big game that.
Yeah.
Big game. I think it's one of them, isn't it? If Tottenham come out the derby, played well, won the derby, they'll fancy it.
Yeah.
If they don't, they could be in trouble. But two massive games for both them
100%.
clubs. And it can only be good that for teams like
imagine they're
Liverpool,
both in
Manchester
Game
United.
of the Week next week.
They could be in 2 games of the week. Next week, I mean, we say Game of the Week, don't we? It's just who we fancy talking about. Before we sign off, Jack, just talking about teams who are doing really well this season. Fulham are in 7th in the Premier League at the moment. They're on 27 points. They're on 28 points, level with Liverpool. Liverpool do have a game in hand. Brentford are on 26 points. They've played 18 games. Brighton, 27 points. Those teams are doing really well. So it'd be interesting to see if their form can continue there. Jack, that's pretty much all we've got time for. Why don't you tell people about Message Your Mate?
Message Your Mate is a campaign that we're championing. It's something we really, really, really believe in. So do us a favour, after you finish listening to this episode, when you're in a safe place to do so, don't be doing it while you're driving. You fools. You bloody fools. Don't do it while you... Stop thinking about texting. When you pull over or when you're out the shower and you've dried off a bit, don't text anyone naked. Text a friend, family member, someone you haven't spoken to in a while. Just check up on them, see how they're doing. And I'm sure it'll make their day.
Absolutely. And we have been saying it recently. If you're enjoying the podcast, please do pass it on to a mate who enjoys football. We're obviously trying to grow this podcast as much as we can. We've got some big ideas. We've got what can only be described as a celebrity guest. Coming on very soon. So we are trying to grow the podcast. If you've got 5 minutes, please jump onto YouTube. Give us a subscription. Subscribe.
So
Give us a subscribe. If you listen to us on Spotify or Apple, whatever, give us a follow. Give us a rate. Yeah? Give us a rate.
Let's go. Yeah. Basically good.
It makes sense. But look, please do these things. It will be massive for us. And if there's anything you want us to talk about, please do let us know as well. Jack, that's it, mate.
Well, thank you very much, Tom. It's been nice. The Perth series of this podcast.
It's been great, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And let's see on the next couple of weeks if we can get Courtney back on. Maybe we can get John back on.
Producer John.
Green light, John.
Green light. All right. Thank you, guys. See you later.